One day.
One day we're going to win. Don't worry.
We're going to look back after the World Series and be like,
So the Dodgers can win. Hey, buddy.
Well, you do know who's on the mound today.
The odds
Win
are...
day. Win day.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Well, Dave, first, just to kind of a few housekeeping things. First, weather. Is there any concern? There's some talk, maybe a little bit of rain coming in at noon. Is there any concern that you've been hearing in regard to that?
Yeah, they said it's kind of circling and looming, but I haven't heard anything as far as, a pushback or might kind of impede the start of the game.
When you look at then, last night you had mentioned that Dalton Rushing is dealing with a slight UCL tear in that elbow, and there are some questions as to what treatment's going to look like, what timeline's going to look like, what that means when he does return. Do you have any more just clarity in regard to that and the timeline for Will Smith?
With Dalton, I think it's just kind of shut down the throwing for 4 to 6 weeks. There's a rest period for just the activity, and then kind of try to resume hitting, and try to keep the bat alive all the while, seeing how the arm feels, the elbow feels. So that's one piece. And with Will, it's just a continued, everything keeps moving forward, which is a good thing. There's no timeline as far as when he faces pitching, let alone when he goes out on a rehab. Then we'll have more clarity on a, projected date of return, but right now I don't know.
Is he still swinging in the cage right now?
Yes, and hasn't taken at-bats on the field yet.
How much of a chance is there that Dalton catches at any point the rest of this year?
Personally, I would say it's very small. I hope I'm wrong, but just kind of, he's a tough kid, and so for him to, go through this speaks a lot. So I think that would be great if he can. Certainly a possibility with the time, but we're certainly trying to keep the bat alive for sure.
Keep that bat going. How much is that? Like, you guys want to have some left-handed options down the stretch?
That's a part of it. Just kind of like looking at the roster and having a, potential left-handed bat could be really helpful.
I know he can.
Or not. Dalton will have to go undergo surgery. How much of this is just kind of weighing? If you rest him for 4 to 6 weeks, he might not. Are you willing to take that risk?
I think that, fair question. I think that over the next couple weeks, I think that we'll have a better idea of how he's responding with time. And then I think obviously that's a Dalton question too. It's an organizational, but it's a doctor, and it's kind of laying all the variables out, and then making a decision. But I do think that there's really not much cost outside of 2 weeks or whatever to kind of wait and see how he responds to some treatment and some kind of stuff that they decide to do.
Is your understanding just that it's an overuse injury, like it's been kind of fraying over time?
I think that it was something that was there, and then it just showed itself, whatever day was Sunday.
I know you can swing with that. Is it something that impedes the swing in any way, though? Is that part of what you guys kind of have to see over the next couple weeks with him?
That's part of it, yeah.
Talk about the growth that he's done this season and the growth that he's yet to do. How disappointing is it to see this happen when he's in the middle of kind of finding his rhythm?
Yeah, it's a bummer because he has made a lot of strides, and then even just this right here. I mean, you're talking about 125 plate appearances that you're missing out on, and also opportunities to catch major league innings. So, I feel for Dalton. Yeah.
How much of a challenge is it now to go a few more weeks with a completely different pair of catchers, less experience than Will?
Well, I think that they're less experienced than Will, but they're both more experienced than who we had, Dalton included. So I think our catching core tandem has been raised, and so I don't feel that as a challenge. I really don't. Catchers just have a unique way of getting to know pitches. That's kind of their DNA, right? To learn on the fly, to adapt. And so with both those guys that have been in our system, I actually feel I feel good about our catching tandem right now with the expectation that we'll be back to.
And the offensive part of it, you just kind of take what you get.
Take what we get. Both guys are going to be hitting ninth when they play, and with the talent that we have, the offense on their side is a bonus. We just want those guys to lock in on the run prevention side.
Snell didn't get through the fourth yesterday. Did he still do enough to be able to be ready to come back?
Yes. Yeah. Just making sure that he comes out of today feeling good. He'll start next week.
Do you have a date lined up for when that will be?
They're talking. There's a couple days that they're kind of toying with, but somewhere in the middle of the week.
Looks like Stone and Bobby Miller started rehab assignments. Do you know what the plan is for them at AAA?
I don't.
For Tyler, how did he come out of his outing?
Came out of it well. Wanted for more. Feels good, and then so he'll probably do I'm assuming 3 innings on Sunday, and so if he does the 3 innings on Sunday, then that'll be a big jump to then get him to the 4, the following, Sunday or Saturday. So we'll see. Yeah.
For him as well, do you want him to get to that 575 mark before he's ready to return, or would you be willing to have him finish just that back inning, that final outing of his rehab back like a big league team, considering where we are with the calendar?
That's a good question. I think let's just get through the 4, and then or the 3. Get through the 3 and the 4, and then I think that the world will probably look different. But once we get through the 3 and the 4, then it'll be a conversation.
A couple weeks ago, you said Ohtani was going to be like MVP again this year. I think people here hoping that might be a little more intriguing. Have you followed kind of how close that race has started to become with PCA, and do you think it'll be a little bit tighter than we've seen the last couple of years with him?
I haven't followed the race. I followed what Pete's doing, and he's figured some things out with the bat. He's having a heck of a year, and he has rightfully made it a lot closer than most people expect, and he's had a tremendous season.
Just what have you made of kind of the year he had last year that was like huge first half, then slumped, to be able to come back this year and put together an MVP-like season?
And who's this?
PCA.
Yeah. He's I think that's part of it. Is he's obviously talented. He's enthusiastic. Really defends well. When you're playing in a pennant race, that certainly helps kind of his focus. But he's done a lot of things with the bat that has made him viable versus left. And which has made him a complete player. So yeah, he's having an MVP type season.
Do you think the MVP stuff hit Shohei's radar very much?
Yes, I do.
Motivating factor for him the rest of the way? Not that he needs extra motivation.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I think that's normal, and that's a good thing. Because if he's the MVP, that still helps us, right? To win, to help us win games, but also, the opportunity to be an MVP. I think that's certainly something, is a motivating factor.
Any schedule yet on when he's going to start throwing?
I don't know.
Is there a reason, like anything bothering him still, where he hasn't done anything?
No, I haven't heard anything. I just haven't heard quite yet, a date to kind of have him on the calendar to start throwing a baseball.
Dave, do you have a date in mind where you start? I don't say concerned, but he needs to get back to being a starting pitcher. Is there a date where you'd like to see him come back?
No, not really. And I say that because any innings we get from him are bonuses. Given he's a two-way player, so I think whether it's 1 inning, 2 innings, 3 innings. So I'm not too concerned about the timeline.
So his role could change. I mean, you don't necessarily need him to come back as the, starting pitcher who goes 6 or 7. You're okay if he comes back in a different role?
Well, I certainly see him as a starter, but how much he could give us to then have somebody behind him, that we don't know yet. But I think yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
That's true for the postseason as well.
I think we'll see about that. We got a long. I mean, it's just hard to talk about the postseason right now. You know.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd have your postseason rotation ready to go.
Can we get that?
Game one.
Thanks, Jack. Thank you, guys.